Come back. Good morning. You're welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform, brought to you by 3Timpest Trade Academy. This is a program that educates our listeners in various areas of international trade and give them ideas on how to be able to get into the business, especially as it relates to export, which is our main driver and goal, to be able to get many people begin to think of this, because it's going to be a way to help us salvage this nation if eventually we get it right. Ali G. Court, thank you very much for joining. Good morning and welcome. So we'll continue from where we stopped yesterday evening when we were discussing why we need to join the export team. And this morning we'll be looking at part 9. Why we need to join the export team, and this morning we'll be looking at part 9. We started from part 1 to part 2 to part 3 to part 4 till we get to part 9, and in each of the way we have used the alphabet A to Z to describe some of the reasons why we feel we need to get involved and support exportation as much as possible. And from our conversation, A was in order to avoid AIDS, depending on AIDS and depending on foreign organizations powered by the Western countries, to support us, for us to do what we think we should do, so avoid AIDS and manipulation that come with it. And B was to boost foreign reserve. C was to create avenue for SME to grow. D was to decrease dependence on domestic market and begin to seek out other markets outside the domestic market. E was to extend the product life cycle and enhance production and usage of excess capacity. F was to support farming. It aids farming and rural life. It aids farming. It makes farming and rural life become more lucrative. We're talking about why you need to join the export team. Also, it helps in job creation. It helps to gain global market share. Export help to make the home country a place of creativity and innovation. And it's also industrialization catalyst, help in job creation and poverty eradication. Help one to know the value of what we have as a nation, Nigeria. Make us to lead the way for other African nations. And of course, help us to be more profitable as exporters. As a business person, you become more profitable as a result of export. If you are already doing business locally and you now begin to consider export, you increase your profitability. There are numerous incentives, and I read quite a number of them. I think over 10 were read out yesterday from federal government for export business people. And we say it as opportunity to maximize the value of Nigerians abroad. The Nigerians abroad are very valuable. They can help to achieve this dream if you work with them and synergize. This morning we'll be moving on from where we stopped, and today we'll be talking about the fact that when we export, it helps us to produce what we consume and to consume what we produce. Exportation makes us to produce what we consume and to consume what we produce. What do I mean by this? If you begin to export and you see what is being done with your product, you are most likely, if you have vision and you really want the business to grow and have a future, you are most likely going to move from local commodity or agri commodity to value-added product. Our commodity, we don't consume it. So we actually produce what we don't consume. And because we import the finished product of the commodity we have exported, we therefore consume what we don't produce. So someone described Africa as the world's single largest liability, and the fact that we produce what we don't consume and we consume what we don't produce. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. Oluwaseun Isaac Adesina, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Tunde Owóẹ̀yẹ, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Nwankwo Ikechukwu, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. Ehu Anga Omokhudu, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. And you're welcome. So we are discussing why you need to join the export team, and today we are looking at part 9. Part 9. Chike Modi, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. You're welcome. We're looking at part 9. Part 9. And said one of the things we'll be discussing this morning is the fact that export makes us to begin to produce what we consume and consume what we produce. And I was giving an illustration that, for example, currently we produce what we don't consume, we consume what we don't produce. By exporting commodities like cocoa, like sesame seed, like solid minerals, we produce these products, but we don't consume them. We produce what we don't consume, and we consume what we don't produce. We produce what we don't consume, and we consume what we don't produce. But when you begin to export, and you have a vision, you have an idea exactly where you want the business to go, and you are seeing what people are doing with your product abroad, you are forced, compelled, if you're wise, to begin to add value to that product. When you begin to add value to the product, you are going to increase the consumption of the product locally. And then you are going to reduce the importation of that item. So when export drives you to begin to add value, when you begin to see the need to export value-added product as a result of how much you make from it, we move from producing what we don't consume and consuming what we don't produce to producing what we consume and consuming what we produce. Today, most of the chocolates you find around are imported. We are consuming chocolate, which we don't produce, but we are producing cocoa, which we don't consume. We are producing crude, which we don't consume, and consuming PMS, which we don't produce. It's interesting how much the kind of damage we have done to this economy just by the fact that we're not taking export very seriously. And this is why we've been talking about why you need to join the export team. And by the way, you can join the export team in 3 ways. You can join as exporter of product, you can join as exporter of services, and more importantly, you can join as a support service person. You can join by providing support service. You can join by providing support service to those that want to export. As a lawyer, as an accountant, as a business analyst, as a business coach, you can provide support services to those that want to export. You can provide support services for those that want to export. These are the way you can join the export team that we're talking about. Why do you need to join the export team? To produce what we consume and consume what we produce. To produce what we consume and consume what we produce. What's the second reason why you need to join the export team? The second reason this morning, to quit the League of Developing Nations. To quit the League of Developing Nations. To quit the League of Developing Nations. If you want to quit that League of Developing Nations and become developed, then we can be developed by exporting commodities. Because to be developed, you must build your infrastructure. To be developed, you must build your infrastructure, both hard and soft infrastructure. Hard infrastructure, the physical one you can see. Soft infrastructure, the systems and institutions. If we are going to build those hard infrastructures, we need funding. We cannot depend on loan and depend on aids to build infrastructure. We can't depend on the support of other nations who will decide what we should use the money for to build infrastructure. There are things you will want to do in your country because they have interest, they will tell you not to do it. Why do you think Ajaokuta Steel has not been working? There are foreign influence in Ajaokuta Steel. There are foreign influence. Steel trade is a big trade in the world. And the West will not want us to. Russia is the only one that have agreed to help us. But we ourselves allow the West to influence us against ourselves. And that's where the selfishness comes in this nation. If we are doing value-added product and making much money, we should be able to do those things ourselves. A lot of things we can do ourselves without the support of any nation if we just accept responsibility. Accept responsibility. Our scientists accept responsibilities. Our academicians accept responsibilities. Our professors accept responsibilities. Our PhD holder accept responsibilities. To be able to accept responsibility for big ideas on how to solve our problem, providing homegrown solution to our problem, and exporting them to the world to attract purchasing power back to the capital in Nigeria. But that will only be possible, we will only be able to quit the League of Developing Nations when we begin to take responsibility to not to depend on agri. As long as we are agrarian economy, we can be developed. As long as we depend solely on agriculture, we can be developed. Because if all we produce is as assisted by nature, we can be developed. If we are not accepting for big ideas of adding value, of innovation, of creativity, we really cannot be developed. How do you explain it? That I will have cashew nuts that can be sold for $1,500 per metric tons, and when someone decides to remove the shell, he can sell it for as high as $15,000 per metric ton. How do you compete? How do you compare yourself with those kind of people? Thank you very much for sharing. Adeniran Nwankwo, thank you very much for sharing the video. Adolphus Ali, thank you very much for joining us. Good morning. Nchedu Adeniran, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. If you are listening to us and you feel your friends, colleague, and ally need to learn and hear about this, kindly share it so it can appear on your timeline so other visitors to your page or Facebook page can be able to see it and of course get to know what is going on and what they should be taking responsibility for. So quitting the League of Developing Nations is so important for Nigeria. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a very long journey, but we must start. Because as far as I'm concerned now, we've not started at all. We've not started at all because we are not accepting responsibility at a level. How do you explain it? That someone will make so much money he will have created job locally, by the way. Created job locally and still make much more money than me, who have not really added any value to the product. So no value was added to Nigeria, no job was created. And I expect to get value? Of course not. We are already at an advantage by virtue of having a lot of agricultural commodities all around us in Africa. And West Africa in particular. But we will really benefit from that advantage, enjoy those advantages, if we begin to accept responsibility to add value to this product. To add value to this product. Not to try to export them the way they are. That will not help us at all. To add value to this product. We must learn to add great value to this product. We must learn to add great value to this product. And this is not rocket science. All you need to do is to import some technology to get started. And as we grow, we can now begin to develop our own technology locally to leverage on the inefficiencies and shortcomings of the technology that we have brought in. And be able to now do the production and export. So we must leave the league of nations that are deemed to be developing nations. We must leave the league of nations that are deemed to be developing nations. We must leave that league. And one of the ways to leave it is through export. If you go and check the top exporters in the world, they are also the top economy in the world. Who are the top exporters in the world? China, Germany, US, UK, Japan, South Korea, Netherlands, France, Italy. These are top exporters. If you are looking at top 10 exporters in the world, these are the names you will find there. You find there China leading the way, followed by the US, followed by Germany, followed by Netherlands, then for some time Japan, then South Korea, then Italy, then United Kingdom, then France. But you know what? If you go check the top economy in the world, these are the names you will find there. If you go check the top economy in the world, it might not be in that exact order, but anyone you will see among the top 10 exporters in the world, most likely will be among the top 20 economy in the world. Anyone you see among the top 10 exporters in the world, most likely will be among the top 20 economy in the world. It's not by chance that happened. It was because of the increased volume of their shipment that determined the value of their GDP. Because they are doing a lot of export, and export is part of the gross domestic product. In calculating, we put export into consideration. So the higher the good they are selling abroad, of course, obviously, the higher their gross domestic product, what they are producing locally. Because if they are not producing much locally, they won't be able to export it. So for them to be able to export it, they must be producing locally and producing more. Because that means if before I'm producing just 1 million units of an item every month, now I need to begin to export those items and begin to produce 2 or 3 million. So I'm going to create more jobs locally. I'm going to create more jobs locally. Because I'm going to have to do more in terms of volume of shipment. The Willis, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. You're welcome. So quit the League of Developing Nations. When you join the export team, we stand a chance to quit the League of Developing Nations. We stand a chance to quit the League of Developing Nations. Then, redemption of Nigerian image. If you know how important and vital this is, redemption of Nigerian image. The world will not take us serious until they see our good works, our good products, our good services, our valuable item made in Nigeria. Look, if we don't add value, nobody will see our product. You know, there is this product, okay, I don't have it here, that I will have shown you. It was a sesame seed. Sesame seed is produced in Nigeria and sold to Italy, Poland, Turkey, and the like, and to China. And I saw a sesame biscuit. So they made sesame from that sesame seed. They make a biscuit, sesame biscuit from that sesame seed that was sold to Poland. But at the back, you will see there, made in Poland. Made in Poland. When you do commodity, nobody know you exist. When you do commodity, nobody know you exist. Nobody. When they make the product, they put their own name on the product because they've added value to it. So no matter how much effort you are putting into produce or export, nobody will respect you. They see you as not serious. The nations are not serious because you are not among the top economies. You are not among the top producers, manufacturers. You are not among the top. You are only doing commodities. But when they finish processing your hibiscus to hibiscus tea, you don't find you won't say made in Nigeria and that hibiscus tea. That hibiscus tea will be made in Mexico. That hibiscus tea will be made in Mexico. When the Vietnamese finish processing your cashew nut, into cashew kernel or roasted cashew nut. They won't put them made in Nigeria. They will put them made in Vietnam. They will put them made in Vietnam. Why are they doing that? You only did raw material. You are not the producer of the goods. The raw material has undergone processes and been seriously transformed. So when you refuse to add value to it, you know, someone chatted me recently, and you know what you want to export? Bitter cola. I know there is this mindset about bitter cola. I don't know who is selling this idea online. That people just believe that they can export bitter cola and made 100%. So if 5 people come to make an inquiry on export, like half of them is telling me they want to ship bitter cola. Because someone online said they can make 100% from exporting bitter cola. And I don't know if that person himself is exporting and making 100% on it. How do you think you can make 100% on commodity export? Unless that product is only found in Nigeria and no other person is exporting it but you. Why would they give you that kind of leverage? If that even happens, it can only happen for a while. Because some people will come into the market and crash their prices. So it's not a sustainable model. So I don't know why people are going after it. And we tend to want to believe a lie. Why? Human being, that's a very interesting nature that we have as humans. When people are telling people the truth, they don't believe it, they tend to believe lie. Lie is easier to believe than the truth. Anyway, because people say truth is bitter. So people prefer the lies. That they say, oh, come and buy this thing, come and pay for this, you'll be able to make this amount. But if they come for a training, I will tell them that, oh, this is what you can make. This is what you can do. This is how much you can make. This is what you should be long-term focus. They will think that, oh, no, these people are not serious. How will I be long-term? They need now, sharp. Instant noodles. Instant export. Instant profit. Instant instant milk. This instant mindset and idea, it doesn't work in business. Sunday, Kyle, thank you very much for joining. Good morning, you are welcome. Adedayo Grace, thank you very much for joining. Good morning, you are welcome. I appreciate your comment. Thank you very much. So it's very important we accept responsibility for big ideas and not just believe we can do it just one shortcut rather and think you will be able to get what you are looking for. It's not going to work that way. It's not. It has never worked. It won't work that way. There is a law of gestation in life. I believe strongly in the law of life. There's something called the law of gestation. That every good idea you work at takes time to materialize. Every good thing you work at, every good idea you work at takes time to materialize. You cannot shorten it. You cannot shorten it. If you try to shorten it, you are going to have premature baby. You are going to have premature baby. Just the way we have it for babies. You know, I tell people that if you have a wife that is married and you have a wife you are married to rather, and your wife got pregnant and delivered the baby in 3 months, will you carry the baby? So how come we want instant, quick, sharp? It doesn't work that way. You need to spend more time to be able to ensure you do what is right and get the best from what you are doing. And sometimes you don't even make profit at the beginning. You have the bell curve. Okay, someone is asking a question. Oanga Omokudu, he said, good morning, sir. I'm a graduate of sociology but unemployed. Please, I need your help for mentorship in this export business at a zero cost. I will submit myself for rule and regulation. Now, the challenge I will have is it will be difficult for me to mentor you when you don't have anything you are going to be able to do. That means that mentoring will be fake. That mentoring will be useless. That mentoring will be theory. The mentoring we run is for individuals who are ready to go, but they don't know how to go about it. So if you don't have money to do it yet, I won't be able to mentor you there. But here is my advice for you. If you want to, since you study sociology and you're a graduate and what I can recommend is for you to see how you can render support services in the export space. And the way to do it is to acquire knowledge. Now, because you don't have money, you might not be able to raise money to do the kind of training we recommend. But here is my recommendation. If you visit tradeinfong.com, 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 tradeinfong.com. I've been posting on that blog since 2009. If you can begin to read all I've posted, then go to my YouTube channel. You will see a lot of video I have posted. Go through those videos. If you stay true on those things that you are learning from that blog and from the video, and you read well enough, you can begin to render support services to help people get buyers from abroad. And from there, you can begin to make some money on export. You can even begin to do seminars. If you learn it well enough. If you learn it well enough. Because the challenge is not the fact that you don't have money. The challenge is that you don't know you have time. And that you can convert your time to money by using that time to develop yourself and develop your mind. You know, people make this mistake about money. They think money is cash. Cash is the lowest expression of money. Real money is value and it's intangible. Your time can be converted to knowledge, and that knowledge can be converted to resources, monetary resources, purchasing power to now do other things later on, to even export later on. So I won't be able to do that mentoring you're asking for. I can only assist you with information for you to be able to render support services to people abroad, or render support services to people in Nigeria who want to export. But you must spend the next 3 months about 5 to 7 hours every day reading about export, learning about export. You will find enough information on my blog. You'll find enough information on my channels. You'll find enough information on the audio I have on SoundCloud. So if you go on SoundCloud, you'll find my audio there. If you search my name on SoundCloud. If you go on YouTube and search my name, you'll find my videos there. If you go on tradeinfong.com, you'll find articles I've written there. So you have enough resources to acquire that skill and spend the next 3 to 6 months developing your mind and acquiring knowledge on export. That's my recommendation. So I won't be able to mentor you on export when you don't have the money to export. Our mentoring is very practical. We mentor people on export that have money, and then we can recommend products they can invest in, and then work with them on how to export it. I believe I've answered the question of Huanga or Mokudu. I appreciate your question. I believe I've answered. Adesina Adewale, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. So, yes, Adesina Adewale, thank you. I have a lot of information on YouTube. So many free training on YouTube. So many. Over 100 of them on YouTube. So, there's so much information available. So, it's left for whoever it is to learn. Amavi Ajavon, thank you very much for joining. Good morning. So, we have learned this morning again 3 additional information about why you need to join the export team. Number 1, produce. If you join the export team, you help us to produce what we consume and consume what we produce. You also help Nigeria to quit the League of Developing Nations, and we can redeem Nigerian image. Our products redeem our image. When people see a product of a country, it gives them impression of how serious that country is, how wise that country is, how advanced that country is. They have a mental picture based on your product. We don't need to do the PR. Forget about the PR. Your product will do the PR for you among the committee of nations. If you are listening to me and you want to join the export team and you are looking for a certification program to help you join the export team, I recommend strongly for you the American Institute of Extended Study Certification Program. titled Executive Diploma in Export Business Management and Executive Diploma in Export Trade Finance. If you are interested in being part of this, because admission is currently ongoing, you can send us a WhatsApp message on 0809 124 4449, or you simply chat on Facebook Messenger with your phone number and email, and we will send the detail to you. You can chat me on Facebook Messenger with your phone number and email, and we'll send the detail to you. Thank you very much for listening to us again today. We'll be looking at part 10 of why you need to join the export team in the evening. My name remains Dele Ayimibo. Have a good day, and bye for now.